Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the insights you really need to understand the world around you. Today, we're embarking on a mission that's, well, a little unconventional and honestly pretty exciting. Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing something really unique today. We're diving deep into a book that isn't even out yet. Our subject is a fascinating forthcoming novel titled Atmosphere, and it's penned by the incredibly popular Taylor Jenkins Reid. So our mission is to go beyond just a simple synopsis. We want to explore the intricate layers, the unique approach, and the profound insights this book promises to offer. We want to help you understand its potential impact, its core ideas, and maybe why it's already generating some buzz even before its 2025 release.
And that's exactly what makes this so interesting, this kind of forward look. Anticipating a book like Atmosphere by exploring its announced themes, its structure, it allows us to really appreciate the depth and the thought behind it right from the get-go. It's kind of like getting a sneak peek at the blueprint, right? It lets us anticipate and then truly appreciate the finished architectural marvel when it finally arrives.
Oh, I love that analogy. That's perfect.
Right.
So let's lay out the foundation for Atmosphere. Let's start with the basic facts. The title, like we said, is Atmosphere. The author is Taylor Jenkins Reid, an author who's already really well known for her ability to craft compelling, character-driven stories that capture the public imagination. Now, what really jumps out at me here is the genre it's listed under: contemporary or literary fiction with a strong element of drama. Taylor Jenkins Reid is known for deeply engaging stories, sure, but that literary fiction label and feels like a really specific choice here. What does that particular designation signal to you about what we might expect from this book, maybe compared to some of her previous work?
That's a great observation, yeah. What's fascinating here is precisely that genre label. While Taylor Jenkins Reid definitely has this reputation for creating incredibly engaging, emotionally resonant stories, the explicit label of literary fiction for Atmosphere does suggest a deliberate move, maybe towards a deeper, more introspective look at the human experience. It sets an expectation for readers, I think, that they're not just in for a good story, but one that might challenge them, make them think, and potentially leave a lasting impression that goes, beyond the final page. It's like a promise of intellectual and emotional depth.
Right, the depth. And speaking of lasting impressions, the setting for Atmosphere is described as having vividly detailed urban and semi-rural locales. And it's all within a contemporary, present-day time frame. The source uses that phrase, vividly detailed. What exactly does that imply for the reader's experience? And how might those contrasting environments, urban and semi-rural, how might they amplify the novel's themes?
Well, vividly detailed suggests the environment itself is going to be almost like another character in the book, meticulously crafted to really immerse the reader. In literary fiction especially, the setting is rarely just a backdrop, right? It's usually an active participant. So when we talk about vividly detailed urban and semi-rural locales, we're likely talking about environments that influence the characters' decisions, their outlooks, maybe even their emotional states. Think about how the bustling anonymity of a big city can foster one kind of personal change, while the quiet introspection you might find in a rural area could evoke something entirely different. Those contrasts can really deepen the story's themes, showing how different atmospheres, quite literally, shape who we are.
That makes perfect sense, yeah. And this leads us right into the core narrative of Atmosphere, doesn't it? Because it sounds like the setting isn't just window dressing at all. The main plot, it follows the intertwined lives of several characters navigating love, loss, and personal transformation. And there's a clear focus on how environment and social context mold personalities and decisions. What, in your view, makes this premise so compelling?
I think this premise promises such a rich exploration of the human experience because it connects to something really universal. We are all products of our environment, to some degree. This focus on how environment and social context shape us isn't just a plot device. It feels like a profound invitation for the reader to reflect, to think about how your own surroundings, your own context has subtly nudged your path. Think about the huge difference between growing up in a massive city versus a small, tight-knit town. How might those different atmospheres have shaped your early views, your choices? Our surroundings, our communities, our social circles, they subtly, sometimes very obviously, shape who we become, how we react, the choices we make. And this focus on intertwined lives suggests a beautiful complexity, like a web of cause and effect, where individual choices ripple out through a shared reality.
And there's this really intriguing detail from the source material one that makes the title Atmosphere just so fitting. It says the novel explores the layers beneath surface interactions and the hidden emotional atmospheres between people. Can you maybe break down what you think those hidden emotional atmospheres might actually mean for the reader's experience? Why is that such a powerful idea for a novel?
That phrase, hidden emotional atmospheres, it's incredibly powerful, isn't it? It suggests all those unspoken feelings, the shared histories, the subtle cues, the underlying tensions or affections that exist between people and within groups. It's that unspoken dynamic you sometimes feel, like at a family dinner where everyone's being polite, but you can just feel the tension from some past argument hanging in the air. Or maybe the easy comfort you share with an old friend where you don't even need to say anything. The book seems to promise making those invisible forces visible, like offering a kind of emotional x-ray into human interaction. It really points to the book being a profound study in maybe emotional intelligence and social dynamics, making visible the invisible stuff that dictates how we interact and ultimately how our lives unfold. It's about the psychology of connection, really, letting us see what truly makes relationships tick, or sometimes what makes them unravel.
Wow, that deep dive into the psychology of connection sounds incredibly rich. Yeah. And these ideas about hidden emotional atmospheres, they lead us right into the deeper themes this book promises to tackle. We're looking at human relationships and interconnection, obviously, but also the complexity of emotions and personal growth, and the influence of environment and social dynamics on identity, and intriguingly, secrets and discoveries within intimate circles. This raises an important question, I think. How do you see all these themes weaving together to create that tapestry of interconnected lives you mentioned?
Well, the way these themes seem poised to interlock is exactly what makes it sound so compelling. You take the themes of environment and social dynamics shaping identity, combine them with the complexity of emotions and personal growth. It suggests a narrative that really digs deep into the psychological landscape of its characters, and that element of secrets and discoveries that will undoubtedly be a driving force, wouldn't you think? Imagine secrets held within a family, maybe for decades, that have created a particular atmosphere, subtly influencing everyone's decisions without them even realizing it fully. The discoveries aren't just plot points, they sound like catalysts, things that peel back layers of the human condition, revealing the true depth of these relationships, and probably prompting some significant personal transformations along the way.
And the characters themselves sound perfectly crafted for this kind of intricate exploration. The source material highlights a complex protagonist struggling with internal dilemmas and place in society. Okay, that sounds relatable. Then we also have friends and family with layered histories impacting current relationships, layers upon layers, and secondary characters that symbolize various facets of modern human experience. It really sounds like the book is aiming for a truly interconnected world.
Indeed. It promises deep character studies, absolutely. But not just focusing on individual journeys in, like, a vacuum. The emphasis on friends and family with layered histories suggests that every interaction is just imbued with backstory, adding weight and meaning. It's not just happening now, it's happening because of everything that came before. And secondary characters symbolizing various facets of modern human experience. That means they're not just there to prop up the protagonist. They likely reflect different societal pressures or personal struggles that resonate universally. It's about how these individuals impact and reflect on one another, creating a truly atmospheric, vibrant social landscape that mirrors the complexities of real life. It makes each person's internal world really crucial to the whole picture.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and turn our attention to the art of storytelling itself, starting with the writing style described for Atmosphere. We are promised emotional, immersive prose with vivid descriptions. Sounds good. Also, it apparently shifts perspective to deepen empathy across characters and balances dialogue and narrative reflection fluidly. These stylistic choices sound absolutely crucial, I'd say, for a book focused on intertwined lives and these emotional atmospheres.
Oh, they really are. That shifting perspective is key, isn't it? Because it allows the reader to truly inhabit different emotional landscapes, to understand the motivations and the inner worlds of multiple characters, not just one central figure. Imagine like a single scene where character A perceives an interaction one way, and then the very next chapter flips and reveals character B's completely different, maybe even contradictory internal experience of that exact same moment. That's the power of shifting perspective. It builds incredible nuanced empathy. It directly serves that goal of deepening our understanding of how different people see the same events or relationships, which often reveals those hidden aspects of their connections, right? And balancing dialogue and narrative reflection fluid. That means the author isn't just throwing conversations at us. It means seamlessly integrating those moments where characters, or maybe the narrator, pause to think, to ponder the deeper meaning of what's happening, their feelings, the bigger picture. It's like the thinking aloud part of the story, giving us direct access to those internal worlds.
That really does sound like it makes the reading experience much richer, much deeper. And when we look at the narrative structure, It seems to continue reinforcing this intricate design. We're told it employs multi-threaded timelines converging to reveal thematic unity. And very fittingly, given the title Atmosphere, it uses metaphor and natural imagery to symbolize emotional states. How does that multi-threaded timeline actually work for a reader, do you think? And how will those metaphors enhance the atmosphere?
Yeah, the multi-threaded timelines concept is fascinating. Instead of just a straight linear A to B story, imagine the novel weaving together, say, a character's present-day struggle with unresolved stuff from their past, maybe their adolescence, or perhaps the parallel stories of several different families whose lives eventually, maybe unexpectedly, intersect. It's kind of like watching different rivers flow, only to realize they all eventually feed into the same delta, changing the whole landscape of the story as they merge. This technique connects past and present really effectively. It allows those secrets and discoveries we talked about to unfold gradually, building the atmosphere as the pieces of the puzzle slowly come together. And the use of metaphor and natural imagery, that's just a brilliant way to enhance that very atmosphere. It makes abstract emotional states feel tangible for the reader, using the world around the characters, maybe a looming storm or quiet still garden, or even a stifling room to reflect their inner turmoil or peace. It makes the atmosphere of the book truly palpable, something you can almost feel.
So, okay, let's bring this all together. What does this all mean for you, the listener? Who is Atmosphere really designed for? Why should you maybe put this on your radar for 2025? The source material says it will appeal to readers who appreciate deep character studies and storytelling that merges internal and external worlds, and also fans of thoughtful, introspective fiction with emotional resonance. Seems pretty clear.
Yeah, I think this book sounds like it's going to be a real treasure for anyone who's curious about the subtle, often unseen forces that shape us. All those hidden currents. It promises significant aha moments, I think, for those who enjoy dissecting the human condition. It's for the reader who wants to feel deeply and think deeply. It offers not just a story to be passively consumed, but maybe a mirror, reflecting that intricate dance between our inner lives and the world swirling around us. It seems to be about exploring those nuanced personal transformations, showing how we evolve not just through big dramatic events, but through the quiet accumulation of countless small environmental and relational nudges.
That's a really powerful way to put it. Atmosphere isn't just a book title. It sounds like an immersive journey, a journey into the unseen connections, the emotional currents that define human relationships. It's about how we shape our world and how our world shapes us right back, often in ways we might not even realize until we, dive into a story like this one seems to be. So, as we start to wrap up this deep dive, Atmosphere by Jenkins Reid sounds like it's shaping up to be a truly compelling read, offering a profound exploration of identity, the pervasive influence of our environment, both physical and social, and those intricate, hidden emotional spaces we all navigate every day.
And it leaves us with a really provocative thought to maybe carry with you, doesn't it? How much of our own personal atmosphere, the feeling of our lives, is created by the people and places around us externally? And how much comes from our internal worlds, our own secrets, our own discoveries, our own constantly evolving emotions? This book seems uniquely poised to make us more aware of both sides of that coin, prompting perhaps a deeper understanding of our own lives and the subtle forces that are continuously transforming us.
What a thought to carry with you indeed. We hope this deep dive encourages you to reflect on your own relationships, your own environments, and perhaps to eagerly anticipate the release of Atmosphere when it arrives in 2025. Thanks so much for joining us on the deep dive.